Yes, fight fans, body and mind sports, welcome. You are fully appreciated if you are here for another session of boxing talk, my people. And in this round, my guys, my people, we're gonna visit one more time Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. September the 21st, that fateful night, Anthony Joshua got ragdolled by Daniel Dubois to retain his IBF World Heavyweight title. Anthony Joshua, of course, lost that fight and was unable to become 3 times heavyweight champion of the world, something he was wishing to achieve through that fight. But because of Anthony Joshua's very piss pot performance, to say the least, where he got dropped 5 total times in that fight, 5 total times, my people, and got KO'd in just 5 rounds, my guys. Something that was very totally unfathomable in most people's minds. That performance in the follow-up to this fight, Anthony Joshua was the overwhelming favorite, and not that many people actually saw Dubois to come out victorious versus Anthony Joshua, just based on skill and ability alone. But as we know, life doesn't always go as planned, doesn't always go how we think it might go. So very wrong prediction for the majority of us there. And since that performance, that miserable performance by Anthony Joshua, a lot of people now portioning blame on Anthony Joshua's performance, but at the same time, a lot of people also portioning blame on Anthony Joshua's team. Most of that blame actually falling on Anthony Joshua's trainer, Ben Davidson, because we all actually believe, and we are united on this, that we saw Anthony Joshua was a mere shadow of himself in that fight, where we all believe, not even believe, but it was revealed that he has actually digressed in his skills and abilities rather than improve, which is very weird, because coming up to this fight, since, well, if you can cast your mind some years back when Anthony Joshua was first ragdolled by Andy Ruiz, and people were shouting he needs a new trainer and so forth. Since then, he's gone through 4 different trainers, my people. 4 different trainers, my guys. Can you believe? He's gone well, I can name 3. I can name 3 of them. It's gone through Robert Garcia. From Robert Garcia, he's gone to Derek James. From Derek James, he's landed at Ben Davidson. Ben Davidson, the man that trained him for the fight versus Daniel Dubois. Not only that fight, but Anthony Joshua's previous fight before Dubois, which was Francis Ngannou, and before that, I believe also Otto Wallen, my guys. Derek James, took him past, previous to Otto Wallen, took him past first Jermaine Franklin and then Robert Helenius, my people. So having gone through all that fuss, all that palaver of changing trainers, he still looked worse in his fight with Dubois. And previously, he's been facing fighters, that seemed to be tailor-made for him, but yet majority of us were crying that AJ is back to his former self and will of course be delivering on the night when he faced Daniel Dubois. But that could have been that of course was very, very far to reality itself, as we all saw. That was very, very far from reality itself. So now, because of that performance, like I said, a lot of people portioning the blame on Anthony Joshua and his trainer Ben Davidson. But one person that has been very highly critical of Ben Davidson's training style in the past is, of course, father of Tyson Fury, John Fury. And this is what he had to say about Ben Davidson back, some, if you could cast your mind some years back, I believe that was in 2019, after Tyson and Fury's very, very poor performance, although a very obvious win for Tyson Fury, a unanimous decision. Something happened to Fury in that fight that, had never happened to him before, in a fight where he was expected to win very, very convincingly, of course, but not without the bloody mess and the cut that he actually received in that fight that could have actually led to him losing a fight versus you could say a C plus fighter in Otto Wallin. But with that said, after that fight, John Fury's criticism of Ben Davidson came into play, and this is what he had to say about Ben Davidson. He said, first of all, started with saying that Tyson Fury looked a lot weaker in that fight versus Otto Wallin. Not only that, but it seemed that his skills and abilities had gone straight out the window, flew out the window like a stray bird, my people. Like a stray bird, like a wild bird, just flew out the window, Wow, what a description. And he looked at the fight and he said, look here, Tyson Fury needs to go back to the drawing board. So that means back to square one. Start all over again and rebuild, because he thought there was something seriously wrong with Tyson Fury's corner in that fight with Otto Wallin, my people. Seriously wrong. So wrong that he, in fact, was calling for Tyson Fury to change his trainer. Simple, to change his trainer. And again, criticism of Ben Davidson came via John Fury. Again from John Fury, just before Fury's second fight with Deontay Wilder. And this is what John Fury had to say about Ben Davidson in the lead up to his fight, to Tyson Fury's fight with Deontay Wilder. That is the second fight with Deontay Wilder, my people, which was actually in 2020, guys. During the pandemic, December 2020. During the pandemic, my people. And Tyson Fury, he stated that Ben Davidson, well, he's a great kid, but 12 months, my guy, before training Tyson Fury, Ben Davidson was actually a PT1 instructor. And I'm assuming what he actually meant by that is that Ben Davidson was actually a part 1 driving instructor. I hope I'm wrong, because that sounds very, very strange and suspicious to me. Because I'm thinking, what kind of screening did Tyson Fury's team put Ben Davidson through to actually give him the job of training a top heavyweight in Tyson Fury? What qualified Ben Davidson? Was it just natural ability, or did he actually have previous experience? Well, I didn't actually look into that, but judging by what John Fury's analysis of Ben Davidson was, in fact, it seemed like Ben Davidson never had any experience at all coming in to train Tyson Fury, my guys. And he actually also went on to say that in training that Ben Davidson was nothing more than just a companion, a friend to Tyson Fury. That in the actual training, Tyson Fury himself did the bulk of the work involved in getting him prepared for fights. Can you believe that, my people? Can you believe what John Fury is actually saying? Well, I don't really know, but he then also went on to say that however, that it was great that Ben Davidson was there alongside Tyson Fury, but after all, he was just a mere companion. That when it actually came, to skills and knowledge, that he had many flaws, many flaws, and that was just before Tyson Fury actually went on to face Deontay Wilder the second time, and that was in December 2020, my people. And John Fury's criticism led to Tyson Fury actually changing his trainer, switching from Ben Davidson to Sugar Hill Stewart, my guys. And after that switch, we all know what happened in the second fight with Tyson Fury, and also in the third fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. So in the second fight with Fury and Deontay Wilder, and in the third fight with Fury and Wilder, Fury came with a whole new come forward style, where he was actually hunting down Deontay Wilder and looking for the knockout, my people. And he actually got the stoppage in both of those fights, which is of course the effect of Sugar Hill Stewart training style on Tyson Fury, my guys. And if you compare that to let's not take it away from Ben Davidson though. He actually helped Fury to earn a win, against not earn a win, but at least get past Deontay Wilder in his first fight with Wilder in 2018, a fight in which after a long stay off from boxing by Tyson Fury, gone through a whole body transformation, where he was no longer even looking like a fighter no more, going through alcohol and drug binging, totally transformed himself, going through severe mental health, totally transformed himself with the help of Ben Davidson. Not only that, but went up against the most fierce puncher in the heavyweight division and actually survived and got a draw. Damn near got a win from that fight, to tell you the truth. And you know, that's a testament of Ben Davidson effect, but although not anywhere near what Tyson and Fury was able to do with the help of Sugar Hill Stewart in the two following fights with Fury versus Deontay Wilder. And that is my analysis of that situation. So now moving forward to now, after the fight with Anthony Joshua's fight with Daniel Dubois, losing under the training and watch of Ben Davidson. Like I have said already, Ben Davidson now coming under more criticism, guys. However, Ben Davidson does say that when Anthony Joshua has done well under his watch, that he's been there to collect all the praises that have come his way, and he is now also willing to accept just the same as the praises that he was getting in the past, you know, the criticisms that have come along with it, and that he will go back, rewatch the fight and see what actually went wrong. And in doing so, I do hope that he comes up with something, because my analysis of that fight, I would say that Ben Davidson did actually make some mistakes in that fight. But before I go into that, let me also say that Ben Davidson has not actually been thrown under the bus by his team. I mean Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. They've not been so harsh on Davidson in the way that the rest of us have been harsh on him. In fact, Anthony Joshua is still looking to remain with Ben Davidson going forward. How long, you know, that relationship will last, I don't know. But again, Eddie Hearn also looking to move forward with Ben Davidson, and actually says that it's not fair, all the criticism that has been ushered on Ben Davidson, and that he did give good and clear instructions to Anthony Joshua, but it was actually Anthony Joshua that was not following up with those instructions. And he says that because of that, it would not be fair to throw Ben Davidson under the bus. After all, when Joshua was doing well, nobody was coming up with all these criticisms. But now it just seems that everybody is trying to lay blame on Ben Davidson. So however, Anthony Joshua have decided to stick with Ben Davidson moving forward. But like I said, how long that relationship will last, we just don't know. My guys, this is just hectic to even think about, and I'm imagining even more hectic for Ben Davidson at this time. But let's go through some other criticisms that Ben Davidson maybe has been going through right now from people from the boxing world, my guys. And one man that has heavily criticized Ben Davidson also is Duke McKenzie, a former 3-division champion, and retired now. But one thing that's very, very important that I must mention, Duke McKenzie was actually one of the very, very few people who foresaw that Daniel Dubois would actually come away with the win versus Anthony Joshua. He predicted it so perfectly, so perfectly. And if you go back and look at my videos, I actually covered the reasons as to why Duke McKenzie actually thought that Dubois would win the fight. And however, though, let me just go straight now to the criticism that is now laid on Ben Davidson. He says, yeah, well, he starts with criticizing AJ at first. He says that AJ's punch resistance was clearly gone in his fight versus Dubois. First, man, he says that the first right hand that AJ was hit with could have taken out anyone. But however, he felt that AJ got hit with that punch because AJ was just not present in the fight, my people. And then he goes on to say, from his analysis of the fight, that the shots from then on, after that very nasty shot that AJ took in the first round that dropped him, all other shots after that were not as hard, and even glancing shots had AJ on noodle legs, not only on noodle legs. This is what I'm interpreting from what it's saying. Not only on noodle legs, but noodle legs on skates. So you can imagine, if you have not watched the fight, the kind of situation that AJ was being put in, with even the softest of touches, my guys, and even soft jabs were starting to have him on roller skates and dropping him. And Ben Davidson said, nah, he started asking that what were they actually doing in training camp? What were they actually doing in training camp? And this, it's like reminiscent of what John Fury was saying, when John Fury was actually saying that the bulk of the work in training camp with Fury and Ben Davidson was done with Tyson Fury and Ben Davidson was actually done by Tyson Fury, and that Ben Davidson was nothing more than just a companion. So right now, Duke McKenzie is also asking the same question. What were they actually doing in training camp? That obviously training camp didn't work. Training camp is not working. And just like John Fury, this is what Duke McKenzie is saying. He is saying, back to the drawing board, back to basics. They have to go back to basics, and he started from there to mention the key flaws. He says AJ in that fight always dropping his hands low, and never bringing his hands back at all after trading. So he will throw a punch but never bring his hands back. Damn. Poor. When I think about it, it's very, very poor. And he said that is a very, very clear fundamental flaw there. And like he said, AJ always dropping his hands, throw a punch, not bringing his hands back. Very, very clear fundamental flaw there. That Ben Davidson, Duke McKenzie and everybody watched and saw in that fight, and we all agree on. And he said that at no point did Ben Davidson ever tell Anthony Joshua to bring his hands up to fix that. At no point in that fight. You know, he did not tell Anthony Joshua, bring your hands up, stop keeping your hands so low. And he also went on to say, Duke McKenzie, that the actual KO shot in the 5th round that took out Anthony Joshua was not even near as strong and as powerful as that very first shot in the 1st round that Anthony Joshua took. That first shot that floored him, you know, but he was able to get up from. Yeah, man, he said that AJ has very, very terrible habits, and he's always had terrible habits, you know. But however, I must admit that in this fight, it was so glaringly worse than before. Trust me, because if you are to talk about keeping your hands down, to me, it looked like AJ had his hands in his pocket to stop his mobile phone from slipping out of a shallow pocket. You know, sounds jokes, but it's true. I ain't lying to you. You know, he says that to fix, you know, all the terrible habits of Anthony Joshua, he's going to need an old school coach. That AJ, like I've been saying, is actually digressing in skill, and he's not improving at all. Roll the dice. He says that was very, very bad advice, of course, meaning that roll the dice was Ben Davidson calling for Anthony Joshua to throw an uppercut after a double jab, and we saw what happened when AJ attempted to do that. Although I didn't really see him do it after a double jab, but he clearly didn't know how to throw an uppercut. His whole form was wrong. Do you know what that knockout reminded me of? It reminded me of Anthony Yard versus versus Arthur Beterbiev. Yeah. Where you know, Anthony Yard went to throw an uppercut from one near enough mid-range to outside range, and he was just left open, and Beterbiev just caught him with a straight right, and it was over. A straight right, my guys. That uppercut ran into that straight right. It made Anthony Yard run right into that straight right. But one thing though, at least Anthony Yard, his form was right, but the distance to throw it in was just totally wrong. Anthony Joshua, his hands were too extended. Number one, he was going down too low. In fact, his body was leaning forward, extending. You know, that is not a way to throw an uppercut. So not only the form was wrong, but the distance at which he threw the uppercut from was wrong in Anthony Joshua's case. And damn, man, you know. And he said that what the advice that Ben Davidson should really have given AJ at that point shouldn't have been roll the dice. Very, very bad advice, basically telling AJ to go out there and risk it all, which is also again reminds me of the advice that Tunde Ajayi gave to Anthony Yard in his first chance to get a title against Sergey Kovalev, where he told Anthony Yard to empty the tank. And after that round, Anthony Yard did very well in that round. Nearly took out Kovalev, just like Anthony Joshua nearly took out Dubois in the 5th round. You know, so you see the similarities there. But it didn't work out, because at the end of it, in the next round, Yard was totally expended. But in Anthony Joshua's case, he just left him clean open, my people, where he tried to just risk it all and throw the uppercut, and that was just totally wrong advice as far as I see it. And according to Duke McKenzie, also he said that the proper advice that Davidson should have given to Anthony Joshua in that situation was to just stay calm, cover up, and just weather the storm. And he after that fight just don't see a way back for AJ at all. Damn. And this is very hard to refute, especially from somebody who is not only a former champion, yeah, but also someone that predicted the fight, and he predicted it right. It went exactly how he said it would go, which is amazing, because he said that if AJ is not able to take Dubois' punches, it's going to be over. Yeah, but however, he feels that Dubois will be able, because he would, without a doubt, he felt that Dubois will be able to take AJ's punches. Seeing as Dubois was able to take Hrgovic's punches, he actually feels that AJ's punches are either possibly on par with Hrgovic's punches, you know. And we saw how Dubois walked through Hrgovic's punches to get a victory, you know. So in his mind, he thought that Dubois would be able to do the same thing with AJ, and he was right, my people. And not only that, in that fight, Dubois seemed to be the quicker fighter, more flexible, athletic fighter, which is also Duke McKenzie's analysis coming into the fight, which is amazing that he actually hit the nail on the head. Amazing prediction there by Duke McKenzie. And yeah, wow. And another person backing him up, of course, is Bob Arum. I have you know, revealed his statement already before, and he actually said about Anthony Joshua that you don't have an off night by getting your head pummeled in the way that Anthony Joshua did. He says that AJ has been in a lot of wars and it's over for him. So the same opinion as Duke McKenzie there. Duke McKenzie says that he doesn't see a way for AJ to find a way back from that loss. And he say, but according to you know, Bob Arum though, Bob Arum of Top Rank, he actually says that it's over for AJ just as it's over for Wilder, and maybe they can now fight each other. As you know, we all have been calling for AJ versus Wilder from a long time. Why that fight hasn't been made is being that AJ has been avoiding Wilder, and some people have been saying that Wilder has been avoiding AJ. But whatever the truth is, this is the situation that we are at now. But in my opinion, I have not written off AJ. I think he can improve. I think he can come back stronger. But at this time, at his age, with the experience he has, he should be able to decipher good advice from bad advice. I mean, I feel I can give AJ much better advice. You know, one thing AJ shouldn't have been doing is pouring with that jab, slow and leaning forward. It got caught a couple times. The way when it jabs to the body is very wrong, because he does it very slow and leans forward. It got caught several times, not hard, but he was getting caught, and I was saying, nah, danger. Don't you know, don't just feel your way with the jab. You know, don't just leave it out there. Just don't only just probe with the jab. Actually, if you are thinking to measure of the jab, throw it stiff and fast, and form a rhythm with it in which you can work off of it. from. That is the best way, against someone that's actually trying to throw a right hand over your slow jab, which is what Dubois was doing over and over again in that night, my people. So you now know what Duke McKenzie had to say in his criticism of both Anthony Joshua and his trainer in Ben Davidson, my people, and it's not positive at all. In fact, he's calling for him to get an old school trainer, but get this, someone that's also singing a similar song as Duke McKenzie is, of course, former heavyweight Hasim Rahman. Hasim Rahman said that going into this fight, he had it 50-50, going into this fight, a 50-50 chance for both Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois to come out victorious. And he felt that Dubois in that fight, was, had reckless abandonment of his defense with full intention of, just running into Anthony Joshua, throwing punches, and just hopefully getting a KO. That was his full intention. He had reckless abandonment of his defense. But however, the reason why he was able to capitalize, and I think the same way too, Dubois' defense was not that great at all, because for an Anthony Joshua that hadn't fully recovered to catch him like that was in the 5th round was amazing, and also to catch him with the uppercut, something that Anthony Joshua had been trying over and over again in the fight but wasn't able to do. In fact, he landed it in the 4th round, my guys, and Dubois should have seen that coming. So Dubois' defense as well wasn't that great, but I think that is who Dubois is anyway. And Rahman said that Dubois was throwing punches in reckless abandonment of his defense with just full intent of getting a KO. And the reason why it worked against Anthony Joshua is this, my opinion, exactly. And Anthony Joshua was fighting like a pacifist. If you know what pacifist is, somebody, that no matter what you do to them, if you want, you can slap them, punch them, do whatever you want. They are not going to reply with physically defending themselves. They will not reply with violence, my guys. And that is why according to Hasim Rahman, he says that is why Anthony Joshua got caught in the very first place, my people, that he was a he was a total pacifist in that first round. In fact, the whole fight. But that is the reason why he got caught in that first round and got dropped, my guys, like a sack of potatoes, a sack of rice, my people. So he says, just like Duke McKenzie, that AJ needs a new trainer. However, though, this is a very strange one. Hasim Rahman believes that Lennox Lewis would be the perfect trainer for Anthony Joshua at this point. Of course, we know Joshua and Lennox Lewis have their riff, and is very public. It's kind of like died down a little bit now, and I believe that is due to the character of both fighters not wanting to be so revealing of the of tensions that they have against another against their foes, whichever way you want to put it. But yeah, Hasim Rahman believes that Anthony Joshua and Lennox Lewis would in fact make a good dream team, and if they could put their beefs aside, the tension between them aside, in fact be able to cut and break that tension, that there would be a good dream team from now and in the future term to come. Anthony Joshua doesn't have a lot of time to be forming dream teams. If you ask me, the man is 34 years old. And also after Anthony Joshua, what he had to say in his when he was given an opportunity to predict, in his own mind, who he actually thought who would be the winner, or should I say, who is the better heavyweight out of Lennox Lewis and Usyk. Anthony Joshua picked Usyk. He picked Usyk, and I'll tell you why. He based this on his personal experience with Usyk in the ring. Okay, fair enough, but then again, you've not been in the ring with Lennox Lewis, my guy. Did you think about that? And you didn't base it in comparing the two fighters' skills. You didn't base it in comparing the two fighters' skills. Instead, you based it on Usyk's achievements. You said Usyk had been undisputed at cruiserweight, and then come up to heavyweight, become undisputed, and then he's beat this person and that person, including you, and blah 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 la di la. Nothing to you're not even comparing the two fighters skill wise. In my opinion, I believe Lewis's style destroys Usyk's style, because Lewis is super durable. He's walking through punches with his guard up, and he's not gonna follow Usyk around the way Anthony Joshua was trying to follow Usyk around and fight his fight and box him. Lewis always fights his own fight, and he is a come forward fighter, but he does not come forward relentlessly like that. He takes his time and walks forward, which means that for the fight to be made, Usyk might need to stand his ground a little bit, and he's not going to be able to pick out what's it called, Lennox Lewis, the way that he was doing with Anthony Joshua. He's not going to be able to do that, where he's just going to be able to just throw punches and just pick him out here and there. And nah, he's not going to be able to do that with Lewis, my guy. On top of that, Lewis has a super gas engine. I know Usyk has as well, but Lewis had a super gas engine and power also. Power to go with it. And he's got an old school mentality. Think about that, Anthony Joshua. So after that, I don't think Lewis will be training him, not at all. But at the same time, who has Lewis actually trained? Has he actually trained any world champions? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that when you have been a great fighter, that concludes that you'll be a great trainer. Nah, I don't really see it that way. But however, like I said, Anthony Joshua for the moment is sticking with Ben Davidson, my guys. Yeah, so that's all I have to say on that for now. However, Hasim Rahman has agreed with Duke McKenzie that Anthony Joshua definitely needs a good trainer, a good old school trainer. So lastly though, I would like to say that Anthony Joshua right now is on a 28-day suspension. Nothing wrong. A 28-day suspension put on him by the British Boxing Board of Control, my people. And that suspension is actually a mandatory suspension. It's a mandatory suspension, a standard precaution after a KO or a TKO. When a fighter has gone through a KO or a TKO, meaning to basically a safety precaution to stop them from entering the ring at any point during that 28-day period. So he cannot be sparring, and he cannot be taking any professional bouts in the ring at this point either. So yeah, I'd also like to add that Anthony Joshua is suspected to be returning in the ring in February, my guys, and that could be versus Dubois, or maybe wait and get in the ring with Fury and Usyk also. So you could be getting a rematch with Usyk. That would be the third time if it gets Usyk, you know. As for Tyson Fury, that fight, we are still waiting for that fight, and we are looking forward to that fight. That would be a really, really big fight. And however, if Anthony Joshua gets Usyk or Fury before Dubois, I believe, from my point of view, that is a broken promise, you know, that was made to Dubois, the winner, to get Usyk and Fury. Unless, of course, if Dubois should take another fight before that, for example, the Anthony Joshua fight before that, and Anthony Joshua was to emerge the winner, or if Dubois should, of course, choose to step aside, and in that case, maybe there might be some step aside money in offer, but I don't know. But yeah, that's all I have for you in this very, very long boxing talk. This is the longest. This has been the longest, a record. You know what I'm saying? So please do find the time to watch the whole thing and get all the information downloaded. Because I've just packed in a bag of information in this one. So with that said though, that's all I have for you on this session of Boxing Talk. Catch me next time on this channel on Body and Mind Sports, my people, my guys. So before you leave though, you know what to do. Do like, do share, do subscribe, and of course drop your comments below and tell me what you think about what I've just told you in this session, the information that I have brought to you so far. Start discussing it, my people, and until next time, stay very, very, very super blessed, my people. And yeah, that's it from me. Bless.